Hello Tobago, and welcome to another episode of Tobago Sport in Focus. Today we highlight the fantastic, the exciting, the energetic sport of table tennis.
Join us this and every Friday on Tobago Sports Live Facebook page for the TSL Weekly Roundup, where hosts Kami and interview persons in the sporting arena right here in Tobago, bringing live updates to you on sporting events on the island and interacting with the public. Remember, this and every Friday, live on Tobago Sports Live at 8 p.m. Tobago Sports Live, evolving sports in Tobago.
Hello Tobago and welcome back. As we said already, we're going to be highlighting table tennis this morning. And with us here is the table tennis coach here in Tobago, Mr. Jelani Bramble. Mr. Bramble, how are you?
I'm very good, sir. How are you going?
I'm fine. Now, as we're watching here, we're watching these players do their little warm-up and whatnot. What is table tennis really?
Well, table tennis is a renowned sport around the world, not as popular in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of the other sports, but there is recognition in that aspect. We're hoping that the recognition grows to a larger scale, especially on the Tobago realm, where we get more players involved, more persons involved. So we're going down to we're reaching as far as the youth. We have national players here. So we're hoping that the sport itself grows in a way where it can impact Tobago in a major way, and in terms of the country in a major way, where we have a lot of athletes going out and producing the best, be the best they can be. Right? That's what it is.
All right. How many years have you been coaching table tennis?
I've been coaching since 2008, so it's about 12 years I've been coaching.
Okay. All right. And what levels of certification you have achieved in your team?
Right. At present, I am at the level 1 ITTF coach. That's the International Table Tennis Federation. That's that level 1 coach. Right. Currently going on to level 2 once that the next course is available.
All right. Well, that's very good. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So the individuals that we have here this morning, I personally know a few of them,
right.
But if you don't mind just giving their names and what age groups they would have been playing.
Right, so currently we have on the table right now, we have Darren Douglas and we have Javier King. Darren and Javier, they both are in the under 21. Darren is also in the under 18 division. Right? In the black we have Jamali Moje. Right? He is currently the number 1 under 15 ranked player in Trinidad and Tobago. Darren is the number 1 under 18 and 21 ranked player in Trinidad and Tobago. So those are the 3 players that we have at present today with us.
All right, very good, very good. All right, so in a few minutes, Tobago Sports Live viewers, we're going to go into today's session. Stay tuned for more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Join us this and every Friday on Tobago Sport Live Facebook page for the TSL Weekly Roundup, where your host Kami interview the persons in the sporting arena, bring live updates to your sport events on the island, and interact with the public. Remember this and every Friday live on Tobago Sports Live at 8 p.m. Tobago Sports Live, evolving sports in Tobago.
Good morning again. Right, so what we have today is basic racket. And the racket consists of 2 colors, 2 sides, red and black. Right? There are many different styles and types of rackets and persons of styles playing with table tennis rackets. But what we locally have in Trinidad and Tobago is the shake hand grip. Shake hand grip meaning it is in a form of where you want to shake someone's hand. So the racket falls into that position, and then you grip it not too tightly, just enough to hold it, to secure it in your hand. Right? So we have the 3 players here using shake hand grip. They are all right-handed, but we have left-handed players also. The left-handed shake hand grip, same style. You just grip the racket in the left hand. So it's not a sport for only right-handers. It's a sport for both persons, right-handers, left-handers. So no matter what age or style you choose to play, table tennis is an ideal game for everyone, right? So when holding the racket, again, you don't want to hold it too firmly. You hold it nice and snug, so if you pull it out, it would come out. But it will not too slack that it will fall out your hand. Good. The players, we start with a stance. So the stance that we're looking at, where if you look at one of the players here, the knees are bent. Right. The knees are slightly bent, showing that they have good footing to the ground, good balance, good also which allows good motion. Right? So this allows you to get a sense of balance, a sense of gravity while playing the sport. So in your start-off position, your knees slightly bent at a slight angle. We're looking at almost 45 degrees to the table. And you have to focus on what it is that you are doing at all the time. So therefore, we look at what we call hand-eye coordination, where your eyes are focused on the ball and your hand is guided towards the ball, right? This is the key aspect of the sport, hand-eye coordination. Right. So. Right. So, you want to do one? Have you good for one, Ali? Good for one, Ali? Alright, cool. Right, so today we will start off with the forehand to forehand rally on the table. We'll start slow at a moderate pace. Look at that. Right? You see, the guys, they are quite focused on what it is they are looking at. They are looking at the ball and their hands guided towards the ball, showing a level of concentration to keep each shot in tune. This also goes with, as I said before earlier, with the knees slightly bent to get proper range of motion. Ooh. Let's go, guys. And when these guys are playing, we have a distance, say about 6 feet to 8 feet apart from each player to give them enough space to move, enough space to react in case they have to move off the table for any instance to receive the ball, right? This will also come in our current situation with the COVID-19, where we have proper distance apart, social distancing between players. So at any point, a player would not be within that 6 to 8 foot range. Guys, right. While table tennis would look to be a simple sport, as some would say, it's a sport which needs some concentration, needs focus. It also increases the player's ability to retain, remove around the table. It increases your hand-eye coordination, as I mentioned earlier on before. It widens your mental faculties, your level of concentration towards the game and towards other stuff. Heightens your thinking because it requires you to respond, to react very quickly at some points in time. It was not a premeditated shot. Some shots come out of the blue, so you need to be able to respond in a quick manner to retrieve the ball. So we're going into the forehand loop. Ready? Alright, so we're going to take it a little slow. Alright, so the forehand loop, or we call the forehand the top spin. This is you're applying a spin. Maybe if I could do a demonstration while. Yeah. So it's doing a brushing contact on the upside of the ball, top side of the ball. That's what we call a top spin, creating a rotation, a forward rotation, which increases as the ball goes along, right? So it's called a top spin. So the guys on the far end of the table, they are doing the top spin, and Jamali is controlling at the moment, or what we call, he is blocking the top spin. Right, so he is the controller for this drill. Both, again, needs to be focused because not every shot is the same, not every spin is the same, and for Jamali it's a bit harder because not every technique or style of person playing would be the same. And if we could look at the legs of the person who is spinning, you see there is more emphasis on the leg work. Right? When you're spinning, you require a little more leg work because the motion is a down upward motion to get this proper spin. So there's more intensity on the leg work than in the normal rally. There. Take your time. Come on guys, focus. Give me backhand. caliber. Now let's see. All right. All right, so we will go to the backhand. Javier, you can change. Right. So now we're going to demonstrate the backhand. We'll start off again with nice and slow with the backhand rally. All right. Well, so we had the forehand pointing this way, the backhand. Right. It's be starting from this way. Start from the center of your body, and the backhand shot goes forward, forward. Right. So if you see at the demonstration, the two players playing, we have Javier and Darren. Shot starts from the center of the body and we goes forward in an outright stroke. Again, at all times, we have the knees bent. We have the guys focused because there is always that level of concentration that we need. And again, table tennis is for all ages. We have persons playing as young as the age of 7, starting off playing table tennis. So it's not, and we have persons playing at the age of 70. So it's at any age that you feel comfortable, you can start off playing. There's no age restrictions. And we even have persons in the para events playing table tennis, persons in wheelchairs, persons using walking canes or walking aids, I should say. They also play table tennis. So it is not a sport that is restricted to those of good health. It's a sport that actually helps promote good health. Alright guys, so we will take a 5-minute break. We'll get some water, catch your breath.
Join us this and every Friday on Tobago Sports Live Facebook page with a TSL Weekly Roundup, where hosts Kami and interview persons in the sporting arena right here in Tobago, bringing live updates to you on sporting events on the island and interacting with the public. Remember, this and every Friday, live on Tobago Sports Live at 8 p.m. Tobago Sports Live, evolving sports in Tobago.
So we're starting off with a little silent side movements, maybe forehand. Again, the knees slightly bent. And this is the shake hand grip in the forehand position. Right. You see, your feet angle, you're relatively about 45 degrees to the table. And you're moving side on side. So you're moving one stroke. Right, so we'll have Darren demonstrate it. Right, yeah. So this will basically be the motion and the movement when they go on the table, and they will adjust to the position of the ball in terms of the stance and how wide or how fast they move their legs, right? So Jamali. Do elbow motion. Right, and Javier. So this would incorporate all-round footwork on the table while the guys will be playing on a daily basis. All right, thanks guys. So we'll go on the table now. We have Darren and Jamali. All right, good. Okay. We see the side on side footwork that we were talking about. Again, the speed will vary depending on how fast or how slowly the ball comes, and the range of motion will also vary depending on the speed and motion of the ball. Remember, when playing, always keep the level of consistency, the level of control, the level of focus. This will help build you as the athlete. Going guys. Welcome now. So we'll add on to it. We'll start the backhand. So we'll do a backhand, forehand, forehand. Okay. This one, eh? Use the one. You use the palm to control it. Very good. No, you can see the backhand, just use the palm. Yeah. Good going, guys. Alright guys, so we'll go right into the far points. So we will one backhand, come across, one forehand, come back up. One backhand, one forehand, right? Far points. Have a forehand or backhand, see there? Right, so down to the backhand side, from the backhand side to the forehand side. Yeah, start with rally and then afterwards we'll go into subspin. Start off slow to get the control, get the consistency. When you get the control of it, then we could go a little faster. Good. Alright, you can start a little topspin on it. Topspin. Come on, guys. Focus more on the shots, focus more on the movement than the speed of the ball. So you try to slow the ball down to get the movements. Slow the ball down to get the movements. Good.
We're back, and we're at the end of today's table tennis training session. Coach Bramble, how do you think the session went today?
The session went pretty okay. The guys, they were a little bit out of it for a bit due to the COVID period, but it shows that we need more training sessions back on track, and we have that going on. So the guys will get back into tune, get back into their right frame of mind, their right spot where they're supposed to be. So for today, it was okay.
All right, and the lockdown, the two lockdowns really. I know we got a lockdown, we started to come back out of it, and then we went back.
Yes.
How did you deal with the scenarios of what is essentially two lockdowns of varying durations, months really?
Yes. Well, based on that, on Tobago aspect, it put a strain on the guys from their regular training sessions, because we normally do 3 days a week sometimes, and that went down to about 2 days after we came back out for the first time, and then we went back into a lockdown, and we only recently started, we're going to start back to train. So it was a bit trained on the guys. They weren't able to train as they usually would, to prepare themselves for any upcoming events. But from a national standpoint, it still is actually a bit bad in terms of whereby we are not allowed in mass gatherings to have tournaments, because since the year has started, we only had one tournament. And then with the COVID restrictions, tournaments were cut out due to our restrictions and stuff like that. So we're still hoping that things would ease up as the time goes along.
Right, with the players doing their own training during the time, did you give some advice to the players and them pertaining to how they could kind of work themselves out of lockdown, so to speak, the mental lockdown of the pandemic?
Right, yes. So the guys, they were doing training by themselves. They do physical training. Some of them do morning jogs, evening jogs, sometimes gym. Once they have the equipment at home and ready available, and then one of the players has access to a table at home, so that would assist in their development at home.
So one of the players actually has a table tennis board at home.
Yes.
Fantastic. So he gets a momentary and maybe every once in a while
someone come across, and so to keep that going. Yeah.
All right. What's your take on academics and sport? My recognition is there's still this almost broken link when we talk about academics and sport being paired together. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are they both go hand in hand. From when I was growing up in school, I went to Bishop's. They try to encourage children to be academically and also co-curricular. So you have both sides of that to help balance the equation for a healthy upbringing of a child. I played multiple sports when I was in school. I played basketball plus table tennis. Started football, but it didn't go along that way. Right. So it goes hand in hand. It helps to again develop the person's mental, because sports does increase your mental faculties. It allows you to free think, and it also allows you to relax, so that you could better understand different scenarios, and helps your body to cope with different stresses of the academic side.
And last question for the day: what's your take on young persons? You go all the way up to, let's say, 18, 21 years old. What's your take on an individual between the ages of, let's say, 5 and 18 taking part in multiple sports?
Taking part in multiple sports, it does have a good side on the athlete, whereby certain sports target certain muscle groups. So a combination, you could have a more all-round workout for the body, right? Because like, for example, table tennis, you will think that it will only target your upper body and legs, so there's no core work, right? So, or no major core work. So you might look at another sport, swimming, basketball, football, which targets these groups to assist in bringing up the athlete, both mentally, both physically, so that he or she can produce in both aspects. So we do have multiple persons doing different sports, whether it's athletics, football, basketball, and they also do table tennis.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Coach.
Not a
Good
problem.
session today.
Thank you so very much for having us.
And welcome back. So now we have the interview sessions, and with me is Mr. Javier King. Mr. Javier King, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm quite okay. So Javier, you've been playing table tennis for how long now?
Well, I started playing tennis at the age of 6, so if you do the maths, and I'm 18 years now.
So you've been there quite a while. You're an old man in the game. Right. So let's go back a little bit. Age 6, what school were you in at that point in time, and what schools have you been in since?
Well, at the age of 6, I started playing table tennis at the Roxborough Anglican School, which is in the countryside of Tobago. And then afterwards, growing up playing table tennis, I then passed to Bishop's, which was my number 1 choice of high school. And then I met up with my fellow partner here, Darren, while I was in 3rd form, and he was now coming into school. So we trained together during our Bishop's years, and then we departed when I went to do my A-levels right here at Senior Secondary School.
All right. And why table tennis? I'm fairly certain you've done multiple other sports. I've seen you with football, basketball, track and field. What has table tennis given you that has literally meant, you know what, I really like this game, I want to continue playing this game?
Well, it's all about the adventure. Table tennis takes you all over the world. It's a very exciting sport to play. Even when you are sitting down in the crowd and the atmosphere brings a whole totally different vibes while you are playing.
All right, fair enough. And who's your favorite table tennis player, whether it be local or international?
Well, my favorite table tennis player is, you could say, Germany #1, which is Dmitry Orkanov, if I pronounce it correct.
All right, and why Okanov? Why do you think why is he the person you actually look at and say, you know what, yeah, I catch a vibe from him for table tennis?
Well, he inspires me a lot actually. Well, to me, I see that we play the same type of game. Very spinny, tacky player, very aggressive, and I like how he plays.
Last question. I'm sure how to do this one. Last question. Outside of table tennis, what would you say is your next favorite sport and why?
Well, that's a very hard question because I'll either say it's either football or track and field because it all again comes to the atmosphere because the vibes. Imagine you're playing a finals and you're down 2-1 in basketball, and imagine we scored the last minute goal and we went to extra time and the crowd go, hooray, and you know the vibe. But also in track and field, you know, when you're doing relays and you're on the third leg and the person bring it in second and you are the one who have to bring it home for the whole Tobago companions, and you know, and when they bring it home and the crowd goes wild, you know, it's just a feeling. But I would say football.
All right, cool. And how you think those sports would have helped you in table tennis?
Well, fitness has a big role to play in table tennis because if you are definitely not fit in table tennis, you lose drastically. Because if a person is fitter than you, when it comes down to the end, they will beat you.
All right, and what club do you represent in Trinidad and Tobago while playing? I know in Tobago you train with the Tobago zone, but what club do you represent?
I represent the club of QPCC, which is the Queen's Park Cricket Club of Trinidad. #1 club in Trinidad and Tobago.
Aye. All right, thank you very much, Javi. All right, and now we have Mr. Jamali Monge. Mr. Monge, good day, sir. How are you? How was your training session today?
My training session, well, it was a bit different because you know how COVID went down. We wasn't really able to come here and train, so I was a little bit rustier than how I usually used to play. But I think the training session, it was good.
All right. So how did you deal with the two lockdowns really? Because I know at a point in time everyone was coming out of it and then we went back. How did you deal with not being able to train as normal?
Well, since like when I wasn't able to train, I used to do, you know, little physical training and revision, stuff like that, because I have exams next year.
All right, so would you have linked up with your teammates in terms of certain things you could do for training? Maybe, you know, you're thinking, okay, well, I need to do some footwork, and you've done all the footwork that you know. Did you have conversations with any of your other teammates concerning what other exercises that you could do?
Well, yeah, sometimes we would like meet up, all three of us, we'll go on the field and we'll do like little exercises and stuff like that.
All right, well, that is very good. Well done. All right, so let's go to your schools, former school, current school, primary school and secondary school or schools. Let us know.
Well, primary school, I used to attend St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School, and then what school I'm going to now is Harmon School of SDA.
All right, fair enough. How long have you been playing table tennis?
I've been playing table tennis for about 6 to 5 years now.
So you started, you're what, probably 15, 16 now? 15, so nine years? No, you've been playing for 6 years, you were 9 years old. So why table tennis? Why not swimming? Why not taekwondo? Football seems to be the love of quite a few people. Why not another sport?
I actually tried other sports before table tennis, but then when I started playing, it was in my primary school. Like I used to see other children, they used to came out and play, and then after I said, let me give it a try, and like I felt a bond, if that was weird, a bond between me and table tennis, and I say, yeah, that's the sport that I would like to play for the rest of my childhood or my life.
Right. Do you play any other sport or do you take part in any other physical activity?
No, I don't. But exercising, well, yeah, I do my exercises here and there.
Well, I know the exercises that you do are essentially CrossFit exercises. You can apply them to any other sport, so that's understandable. The first time you were selected to the national team, how old were you and how did you feel?
Well, nervous. I was really, really nervous. Like, I didn't know like what emotion to express. Like for my first match, like I didn't know what to feel, what to do. But then after my coach, he say, "Hey, calm down, relax. You know, you just pretend like if you're playing Darren or Harvey or one of them. You just play, you just be you. You know, take your time, do your shots correctly, do your movements, stuff like that."
And how old were you when you were first selected?
11, 10, yeah.
So from 9 to 10 years old, that's a significant amount of improvement in such a short space of time to end up on the national team.
Yeah.
That's very good. Well done. All right. So if you were to have a second sport, what sport would it be?
Will probably be football, maybe.
And why would you choose football?
It's fun. I enjoy like, you know, football is like is a team effort and stuff like that. But so is table tennis in a sense, because it have some events where there will be doubles where like two players have to play on the table instead of one, and there's a lot of movement. So yeah, I'll choose football.
Who is your favorite table tennis player, or are you one of those persons that watch table tennis and you don't necessarily try to hone in on one individual? You just look at table tennis and say, you know what, I like Darren's style, I like Javier's style, something about, you know, the forehand or the backhand or whatnot. Is it that you're very generalized when it comes to who or what you like to see in table tennis?
Well, I won't say I have a favorite table tennis player. I would say like I would like to become better than the best.
Last but not least, when you get the first opportunity to play again, how you think you're going to approach it? Do you think you'll be the same nervous 10-year-old that you know back in the day, or will you just be, okay, I'm ready to play, I've been itching to play, let me calm myself down, prepare myself, and you know, just go and do what you would normally do?
Well, yeah, I'll still be a bit nervous, but you know, over my 7-year experience of playing table tennis, I'll be, you know, a bit more composed to play, and yeah.
Last question. I know you train in Tobago with the Tobago zone, but which club team do you represent?
I represent Carnage Blasters from Trinidad.
And is the team environment down there a very good one? How good is the table tennis environment? How good is the table tennis play down there?
Well, I haven't been there for a couple of months now, but for the time that I was, I'd say it was pretty good.
Coach Dennis has been essentially guiding you while you were down in training in Trinidad. All right, well, that's very good. All right, thank you very much, Jamali. Now we have Mr. Darren Douglas. Darren Douglas, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm very okay. How did you feel after this morning's training session? I know you'll have been off for quite some time. How's your body feeling?
Well, it's a bit shaky because after all that time home, well, I've been doing my physicals, my workouts on mornings and evenings, but coming back out on my first day of training, I feel the atmosphere is very different, so I just have to get my body into it and get back the right mind into training.
Right. And I realize that I think you're ranked number 1 in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So when you were essentially deemed number 1 at that, you probably would have had to win the tournament, the national tournament. How did you feel after winning the national crown and being essentially regarded as the best table tennis player in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, after playing my group stage in the national tournament, I know that the competition has started, because after my group stage there was no easy game, and in order to win the tournament I had to fight every point, because no point was easy. You had to fight for every point in order to be victorious, and from the time I have made it to the semi-finals, it was non-stop, and this is where fitness came in. I had to play every point to my best of my ability, and I end up being victorious in the finals, and I was feeling very excited to be champion.
Right, and I know being in Tobago, you have the opportunities to train. So what about their teammates in Tobago who you train with? I know you all essentially had the same battle concerning COVID-19 and whatnot. But when you all are training, what's the environment like? Does everyone kind of push each other to become better? Is everyone giving little suggestions of maybe what they could do better? What's the environment like?
Well, in training in Tobago, I have 2 coaches, Jelani Bramble, Larry Ince. They always motivate me and my teammates, always motivate us to keep pushing and always correct strokes and always being on the right path of our game. So they always know to guide us and carry us through each training session, piece by piece. So I think, it's a very good training session that I did.
All right, so let's go to your schools, the schools that you would have attended from primary school all the way till now.
Well, in primary school I attended St. Andrew's Anglican. Then I passed for my first choice, Bishop's High School, right? And when I passed for Bishop's High School, there were a lot of players involved in table tennis. So that encouraged me to keep pushing, working harder, because there were a lot of players who were on top of me, so I had a lot of experience from them. So I started to push my game and work as hard as I can.
All right, so which club team do you represent in Trinidad nationally?
Well, my club is in Trinidad, Queen's Park Cricket Club, where we have Aaron Edwards, Shamar Britton, Brittany Joseph, and they are also the top players in the ranking in Trinidad and Tobago. So I have a lot of players to train with and to keep up my game with. And also when I'm in Tobago, I also train as consistent just to keep sharp. So when tournament come, I am always ready.
All right, brilliant. So what would be your aspirations? Because I know that there was something kind of in the works, but again, COVID kind of put that on the brakes. What are your aspirations? Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan next year, and things kind of get back to the normal that it used to be.
Well, I was supposed to go to a training stint in Germany in September, but because of the pandemic, unfortunately not. But I'm looking forward to it in January, because in January the country is open up a little freely now. So in January I'm looking forward to be going on that stint, and that training stint will be held in Germany, in Munich. So I'm going to train for the National Caribbean Juniors and Seniors, because I'm a part of the senior team also. So the seniors is the 1st of March, and we have our Pan Am under 21 qualifiers for teams to go to Mexico. That tournament is held in Cuba, so we have to go to the qualifiers in Cuba. So I'm training and looking forward for that tournament.
There's a lot of table tennis coming up, kind of one on top of the next, on top of the next. All right, so outside of table tennis a little bit, if you had to choose another sport, what sport would it be?
Well, definitely football, because I love watching football and I love playing football. You know, I love watching, especially Paul Pogba, that's my favorite player. So, you know, and football has a great part to play in my table tennis role, because in secondary school I played for Bishop's High School, my coach, Charles Goddard. So, and fitness was one of the most important things in football, and it also helped me in table tennis as I continue playing. That have a big part to play in my table tennis.
So the aspect of cross training different sports actually really and truly helped you out when it came to your table tennis career as of right now.
Yes, because in table tennis I usually do more board work than physicals, but when I'm home on mornings, I wake up, I do more physicals. But when I was going to Bishop's High School, I always used to do physicals in football training and more ball work, right? But it have a big part to play in table tennis, so I also capitalize on that training in football when it comes to table tennis.
All right, last question. Your favorite player or players, or if you just, you keep your eyes on everyone to see exactly what they're doing, and you take a piece from this person and you take a piece from that person to essentially make up Darren Douglas, the tennis player. Who is your favorite table tennis player?
Well, my favorite table tennis player is Patrick Franziska. He's from Germany. I love his style. He's always aggressive to the game. I love how he does play to always fight for every point. He's always determined. Every game he's played, he always have his head on, and even though he's down 11 points in a match, he's always playing to the best of his ability. Even though he's down, he's winning, he always have his head up, and I like his spirit. So I always look up to him as my favorite table tennis player.
All right, thank you very much, Darren. And welcome back. So Tobago, you just witnessed table tennis being played here on the island. No questions asked. You want to get involved? Hey, you know where to do. Get in contact with Tobago Sports Live and they'll definitely hook you up, right? So on behalf of Tobago Sports Live, Coach Bramble, and all the table tennis players, we say thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, there's more to come. So don't go anywhere. We'll have it all right here. Bye.